Shalom, shalom. So I want to tell you about the 5 regions that I miss in Tanzania. You see, we're journeying with us. We're a family of 7 that has traveled throughout the southeastern regions of Africa for the past 5 years, which sounds absolutely insane. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary on YouTube, and it's like, wow, time has truly passed. And for this video, I wanted to just reflect. You know, people say it's the new year, but really spring is the new year. But either way, it's always a good time to reflect on life and to be thankful for where you've been, where you're going, and all of those things. And so I want to tell you about the 5 regions that I miss in Tanzania. And a few of them are regions that no one has heard of. And I'm going to just tell you a few stories because we have lots of stories over our multiple years in East Africa. So let's get into number one. Number one obviously has to be Dar es Salaam because that's where we landed in 2020 in Tanzania. Dar es Salaam means the city of peace. You get Swahili culture, you get Ethiopian food. The country I'm in right now doesn't have Ethiopian food, which I miss Ethiopian food, okay? I used to love to go to Addis and Dar and eat delicious Ethiopian meals straight from Ethiopia because some Ethiopian people came and started that company, and so it has delicious food, okay? And of course, the people in Dar es Salaam are so peaceful, so wonderful, so gracious, amazing, and helpful. They really gave us like the perfect entryway to Africa. I think Tanzania is one of those places that can be the perfect entry point to Africa because of the culture and the people. Like, there is nowhere else where you will hear those wonderful karibus, those mambo, poa, habari yako, how are you, dada? You know, you only get that in that country, okay? Number 2, let me tell you the next region. The next region is a place that a lot of people don't know about, but I think a lot of people should know about. It's called Tanga, 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 Tanzania. It's a historical colonial place that has a lot of different ties to like South Korea, the British. It has a lot of interesting ties, but the thing I love about Tanga, although it doesn't have like the food and the shopping and all the things that of course Dar es Salaam would have, it's a very small city, what some may call boring, but what I love about Tanga is the nature. Tanga is so fruitful, you feel like you're in a different dimension. And if you're Tanzanian and if you have not taken that bus trip, that's about 6 hours from Dar to Tanga, to experience your motherland, you should, because it's so fruitful up there. It makes no sense. It's also a port city, and so you have that, you know, the entire Swahili coast, super big port cities are all along that coast from Kenya all the way down to Mozambique. I think even like there's a port even in Somalia that was connected to the Swahili coast as well. So Tanga is number 2. Number 3, Kilwa Kisiwani. We went down to Kilwa, which is about 6 hours south, maybe about 8 hours depending, south of Dar es Salaam. Nobody knows about it. Like, you go down there, you're not seeing no foreigners, you're not seeing no Americans, Europeans, you're not seeing nobody except Tanzanians. And it's very beautiful. Like, it was super quiet. I would say it was even slower than Tanga, to be quite honest, Kilwa Kisiwani. But the reason we went down there while traveling on holiday was because they have these ancient ruins that go back to the Arab slave trade, like ancient palaces that Arab slave traders were in, Portuguese. There was just so much history there. And people really need to know about Kilwa Kisiwani. Like, you need to go there. We had a wonderful tour guide. Her name was Jamila. And that's like an Arabic name. So that was just really interesting, really cool. So you need to go down there, okay? It's real affordable, y'all. It's real affordable. We stayed, you know what? You'd have to watch the video we did on Kilwa. It was like a dream come true. I just remember sitting there as the waves would come up on the white sands beaches. Like, if you think Zanzibar is beautiful, go see Kilwa Kisiwani. You have this beach all to yourself. You're just sitting there. Our kids would just like run out. Our oldest 2 were much younger at the time. They were very young at the time. Now they're much taller, but they would just go out and run on the beach, and they loved it. It was just so fun and so incredible and so peaceful. Now, numbers 4 and 5, I want to tell you about Tunduma and Mbeya in Tanzania, okay? Tunduma and Mbeya. Tunduma, people don't know about Tunduma, but when we went down to Zambia, there's this border town called Tunduma, which is amazing. And it's amazing because, again, it's super slow. But when we arrived, there was a slight culture shock coming from Dar es Salaam. The culture shock was the weather. We went down there in March, going to Zambia. It must have been March 20, I don't even remember. But we went down there to Zambia, and let me tell you, it was cold. I was like, are we still in Africa? Because in America, you think Africa is just hot, super hot, super hot. It was cold. I'm like, we didn't bring no tennis shoes. We didn't bring no sweatshirts. We didn't bring, I don't know what else we didn't bring, but it was cold, okay? But I really liked both Tunduma and Mbeya. Again, similar to Tonga because the fruitfulness. Like, we went on this bus for 16 hours it took from Dar es Salaam. This is why I always tell y'all Africa is much bigger and resourceful than the Europeans want you to think, okay? But it took 16 hours by bus. We rode through these mountains on the bus in the clouds. It was just such an adventure. We rode through a safari national park. I think it was called, it started with a K. I'm gonna try to add the videos because we actually documented that journey. And I just look back on those times like I am so grateful that we would always go on holidays, that we would always explore and see what it was like in those different regions, because they have various hotels out in these different regions, and you can just sit back. You can take your 3-day vacation, your 5-day vacation, your 14-day vacation, wherever you want. Now, some of the regions I spoke about, like some places in Tonga, some places in Tunduma, they will not have service. Just prepare for that. So like if you're really going to enjoy your time and you're going to be off grid, then get your work done, batch it, have, you know, whoever your team is doing that work so that you can just really explore and enjoy, because that's so important for us to get back to as humans. That's so important for you to be able to experience if you're in Tanzania, if you're going to Tanzania, or if you're in South Africa, wherever you are, and you're like, man, I just really want to experience nature and being off grid. Tanzania is perfect for that. And, you know, 2 of our daughters were born in Tanzania, and it's just so wonderful. The culture, the people, that's just something that you can't get everywhere in the world. That Swahili culture, that Swahili food, the Swahili people, the Kitanges, the hair salon, just all the vibes, all the vibes. So you should definitely check out those 5 places, and 3 of them are places that people typically don't. Well, actually all 4 of them, except Dar es Salaam. Everybody knows Dar es Salaam, but you can go vacation in places that really nobody knows about. Your bill is going to be much more affordable than if you went to a 5-star hotel. And then obviously, whenever you're providing resources for local villages, local communities, by your adventures and just through seeing these different areas, they always get so excited and they're just like, wow, we never see Americans, let alone a Black American. And so it's just, it's really the opportunity of a lifetime to go to some of those places. As a recap, obviously Dar es Salaam, but then Tonga, Kilwa Kisiwani, which is in southern Tanzania, and Mbeya and Tunduma. So you can check out the links in the description to view some of our old documentaries on those places, and let me know which one you would go to, or if you're gonna hit up all of them, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Shalom, shalom.